Secondly, we aim through this policy to increase financial inclusion in the country by reducing the number of the unbanked population in Nigeria. Thirdly, our aim is to support the efforts of our security agencies in combating banditry and ransom taking in Nigeria through this program, and we can see that the military are making good progress in this important assignment. Ladies and gentlemen, available data at the Central Bank of Nigeria showed that in 2015, currency in circulation was only 1.4 trillion naira. As of October 2022, currency in circulation had risen to 3.23 trillion naira, out of which only 500 billion was within the banking system and 2.7 trillion held permanently in people's homes. Ordinarily, when the CBN releases currency into circulation, it is meant to be used, and after a fraction of time, it returns to the CBN, thereby keeping the volume of currency in circulation under the firm control of the CBN. It should also be noted that the notes in private homes and outside the banking system are not available for economic activities and thus may affect the economy attaining its full potential. So far, and since the commencement of this program, we have collected about 2.1 trillion naira, leaving us with about 900 billion naira. To achieve effective distribution of the new currency, we have taken the steps. 1. We held several meetings with deposit money bank CEOs and provided them with guidance notes on processes they must adopt in the collection of old notes and distribution of the new notes to all Nigerians. This includes specific directives to deposit money banks to load new notes into ATMs nationwide to ensure an equitable and transparent mechanism for the distribution of the new notes to all Nigerians. This approach was initially adopted following reports that some deposit money banks were favoring their prime customers at the expense of their small account holders at their branches. After some time and in a meeting with the deposit money banks, we decided to allow withdrawals over the counter, but subject to no more than 20,000 naira at this initial stage, because as time goes on, our plan is to increase the withdrawal limit even to higher amounts. We also gave instructions that bank branches be kept open on Saturdays and Sundays. At our last meeting held this morning, the CEOs of the banks reported that although calm was beginning to return to their banking halls, there were still some areas of pressure, and everything is being done to divert more resources to such pressure points in order to ease the tension. The meeting further resolved to extend the cash swap initiative nationwide and expand the number of participating agents, as well as formally include some of our microfinance banks in the cash swap initiative. 2. We commenced a nationwide sensitization through the print and electronic media to create an awareness on the redesigned note to Nigerians, including collaboration with the National Orientation Agency to reach all Nigerians across multiple channels. 3. We deployed 30,000 super agents nationwide to assist in a cash swap initiative in the hinterland, areas, and regions underserved by banks in the country to ensure that the weak and vulnerable ones amongst us can swap or exchange their old notes. 4. We deployed all our staff, particularly of the levels of assistant directors, deputy directors, and directors in Abuja and Lagos, to proceed to all central bank branches nationwide to join the mass mobilization campaign and monitoring programs, working with our deposit money banks, super agents, and our bank branch controllers across the 36 states of the Federation. This is meant to ensure compliance with all our guidelines already issued, implementation of this program. The CBN welcomed the participation of the EFCC and the ICPC, who joined our monitoring and compliance at bank branches and agent locations. 5. We are happy that so far, the exercise has achieved a success rate of over 80%, as about 2.7 trillion the banking fund. Nigerians in our rural areas, villages, the aged and vulnerable have had the opportunity to swap old notes, leveraging the Agent Naira Swap initiative, as well as CBN senior staff nationwide sensitization team exercise. What are the benefits of a currency redesign policy? General currency redesign policies, sometimes called demonetization policies, are designed by countries to combat social improprieties. Chief in underground or in the east from obliterate rent-seeking businesses in the black market. By reducing currency outside banks, it will shrink money stock and accordingly lower the long. The ensuing deflationary pressure could elicit interest rate cuts that will, in the short to medium term, boost economic activities, spur aggregate demand, and enhance output growth. The macroeconomic impact of currency redesign are multidimensional and could seem uncertain, especially at age when its impacts seem widespread. This policy will increase bank account ownership and increase the use of accounts by enhancing people's savings behavior. It could encourage hitherto informal business operators to realize the path of transaction and adopt more formal settlement channels. In addition, the cash holding and the increased formalization of business activities as the cashless policy forces more economic agents to open bank accounts will also boost fiscal policy. With more transactions going through electronic channels and bank accounts, more agents come within view of the government tax bracket. This enlarges the base of taxable activities and increases the possibility of more tax receipts by various tiers of government. In the long run, the policy improves the sophistication of tax collection and would no doubt reduce tax evasion and tax avoidance. As experiences from other jurisdictions have shown, effective currency redesign can support regulatory reform, increase legislative reach, and coordinated fiscal and structural policies. In summary, the general benefits of a currency redesign program include reduction in broad money supply, lowering inflation, the collapse of an illegal economic activities, and also makes to access loans. Before concluding this remark, let me state, and sadly too, that we have observed some incidences of widespread hoarding and predatory activities of some vendors. We appeal from such. These actions, if left unchecked, could derail the achievement of the objectives of the Naira design policy. On hoarding, we have noticed that some members of the public are hoarding the economy. Cash kept at homes will not circulate, but may fuel a perception of scarcity, which leads to higher demand for the currency, signaling to those who don't have an urgent or immediate cash need to store cash. The CBN would like to encourage the public to use alternative channels as much as possible for their transactions and hold minimal cash in line with the cashless policy. Panic queues. The CBN has also noticed long queues at some bank ATMs and banking halls. While some of these withdrawal requests are genuine and deposit money banks continue to load their ATMs only with new notes, monitoring suggests that there appears to be some opportunistic and panic queuing. The bank wishes to reassure the public that the new notes are available for all who need it at the appointed time. There is no need to queue channels and don't have an emergency cash need at this time. We reiterate that the new redesign are more than enough to go round for legitimate needs. Damage of bank branches and assault of bank personnel. It has also come to our notice that at some branches of banks, customers have become aggressive, verbally and or physically abusing bank staff. They have also damaged or destroyed bank property, premises and assets. We enjoin Nigerians to be peaceful and law-abiding when they visit bank branches, as this wanton destruction will be counterproductive to the number of financial access points in these communities. Incidences of economic opportunism. We have also noticed that some Nigerians are capitalizing on the transition to charge exorbitant fees on or demand cash payment on false pretext that POS don't work. These selfish actions for personal gains is a transportation and of all. The CBN reiterates the availability of an appropriate amount of currency, denominations of 200, 500, 1,000 redesigned denomination or the current rate to support our economic activities. The bank is collaborating with the entire financial ecosystem, the deposit money banks, the other financial institutions, the mobile money operators, our super agents, microfinance banks, payment system providers, EFCC and the ICPC, and other law enforcement agencies to ensure that Nigerians have a variety of options for financial transactions, either through electronic channels or, in exceptional circumstances, the cash. We are mindful of the challenges some citizens have faced and are addressing them. There have been reports of occasional failures in electronic channels, platforms, e-channel platforms. Our monitoring suggests that whilst there has been an expected surge in electronic transactions, these have not risen to unprecedented levels, and the payment system is well equipped to handle even higher transaction volumes. Whilst transactions failures are bound to occasionally occur, the public is encouraged to have full confidence in Nigeria's globally recognized payment system infrastructure. The banks have also been instructed to ensure 24/7 service availability and promptly address any customer refunds arising from such service failures. We call on all Nigerians to be calm, to be law-abiding, and considerate of their fellow citizens, particularly our weak and vulnerable, in the conduct of their affairs as we execute this very important policy initiative of national significance. As with all far-reaching consequential policies, there is a transition period during which short-term hiccups will be inevitably experienced but eventually overcome. The CBN is committed to ensuring a seamless, inclusive, and equitable implementation of this for the overall benefit of the people, the financial system, and the Nigerian economy as a whole. The advantages of the currency redesign is overwhelmingly enormous. And will benefit the economy in the long run. We will take all necessary steps to ensure that there will be a smooth flow of currency swap and minimize the inconveniences in the short run. I thank you all for your attention. Good evening. All right, well, thank you very much. The first question talked about the clamor by people to move the deadline by. Is CBN open to further extension of deadline? I would say no. And you also said that if only 25% of the population are to collect some 20,000 naira, it means that every day central bank will supply 896 billion naira into the system. So you can see that it doesn't work the way you are analyzing it. If, for instance, we told you that in 2015, currency in circulation was 1.4 trillion naira, less than double of what you are saying we should inject into the banking industry in one day, and even indeed that as at October 2022, the currency in circulation was 3.23 trillion naira, out of which 2.7 plus is outside the banks. So you imagine that it doesn't work the way you have analyzed it. But what we are still saying is this. Your analysis does not mean that because 896 billion naira is not issued by central bank into circulation in a day, that does not mean that there isn't adequate supply of currency in the market, in circulation. What we are only saying, and we have to admit it, that at this initial stage of the issues and circulation, we can't put 896 billion in one day into circulation. So that is the reason that we said, unfortunately, we do see that there will be some transient or temporary pains, but that we appeal, we are begging, we are on our knees begging people to please show understanding. They should be calm. They should be calm. In our meetings with the banks, we have told them, set up tents and chairs, give people numbers. When you come in, you get served. If it finishes, just be patient. By tomorrow, will not be cheated. Let us calm. Let us adopt a good queuing system. The assurance we give is that it will eventually go round, way that has always been in the past. But you see, the point is this: that of 3.23 trillion naira in circulation, at least 2.7 trillion naira is hidden in people's homes. It does not augur well for the economy. It does not augur well for the growth of the Nigerian economy. It does not augur well for macroeconomic policy decisions that we take at the CBN. And that is the reason we are appealing that please, please, and please, we understand the pain. I have received several calls myself. Some members of my family themselves have complained. That we all have to just please show some understanding. It does not mean that when you go and you queue and it doesn't get to you, that you now begin to descend to wanton destruction of bank properties. Those bank properties are meant to serve you. This is where you have decided that you have trust in this institution. You have decided to entrust your own money with them. At this time that we are facing this temporary and transient situation, we crave everybody's understanding. Please be calm. We are monitoring all the situations on 24/7, both the cash channels and the electronic channels. You have had calls to call some banks, or they said your system is down here, and usually you will find that we can't run away from the fact that bank electronic channels will sometimes have downtime. And when we call them, I called the bank this afternoon, and within 20 to 30 minutes, they restored it. It does not mean that it does not work. I understand the agitation, but I am appealing in God's name, that please, let's be calm. Let's take this easy. I might as well address the petrol station. Oh, he said, okay, he will normally accept the POS. I will appeal to the petrol station, continue to accept your POS. You will get your money. If you are getting your money account credited instant, it's possible that because of deluge of the volume that they've had to wait, that it does not mean you will not get your money. You will get your money. You will get your account credited. If your account is not credited, you have a right to complain. And I'm sure those who know what we are doing in consumer protection know that we have always shown sympathy or shown sympathy towards those customers that have complaints against their banks. We are committed to this. We just need your understanding. I'm not going to pretend it's a difficult time. This ambitious program. But if we have not done this for 19 years, what we are supposed to be doing in 5 to 8 years, we should expect that there will be a few hiccups, but to assure all of us that those hiccups are being addressed. That's electronic channels have addressed that. Inni talked about the mobile money agents, mobile money agents who use POS and all those things. We're going to go back, and I'm sure by tomorrow when we meet, I am going to be calling if those charges go to, or those charges are being sort of charged to the banks. We are going to have an arrangement even with the telcos to see to how those charges can at least at this time be stopped. Those charges at this time should be stopped. I've seen what I call nauseating videos about people who spray money at parties. It's extremely annoying. It is annoying, and we feel like vomiting when you see these things happen. Some of them have been arrested. Those who went to Twitter, she's already currently under ICPC. The lady who was spraying packs of money, we will find all of you. One of them we found yesterday. I think that one is also with ICPC or EFCC. With EFCC, they will go to jail because you have broken the law. We will not allow you to create pain on Nigerians at this time when others are suffering. You cannot go and collaborate with bank officials. ICPC have pleaded with EFCC. You find them. When you find them, please trace them, track them down to the bank official. Track them down to the central bank official. My hands are clean. I'm not going to be involved. Nobody should get themselves involved in colluding with anybody to be involved in giving money to people to go and spray at parties or go and be using multiple ATM cards to be involved in all this. It's a pain to all of us, and I want everyone, in the name of God, this is not targeted at anybody. We are doing our job with the law that in a way that benefits Nigeria, that benefits Nigerians, and that benefits the Nigerian economy. But I can assure you that these people, either those held in Kano by the Nigerian police or EFCC in Lagos or in Abuja or ICPC, they will go to jail. We are going to monitor to ensure that they go to jail because they broke